At the CNN debate this week, there were a lot of questions for Donald Trump and the other 10 candidates on the stage. I knew watching, and you probably did too, the second this happened, this would be the soundbite that would be replayed again and again involving Carly Fiorina. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump said the following about you, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that?"
You know, it's interesting to me. Mr. Trump said that he heard Mr. Bush very clearly and what Mr. Bush said. I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
And I think you have a beautiful face as well.
Well, thank you. And I'll keep clapping for Carly on that statement.
All right, she had a great night. There's no question
Right.
she was the winner of the debate. But as we played earlier, everybody just gushing over Carly Fiorina. Going a little overboard here?
No, I think clearly she won that debate. It was.
Yes,
but
the press now,
it was fine for the media to make that a statement to
media headline. She's the best bet for the presidency on the basis of one debate.
That one probably is a one line that went too far. But when you start looking at the other stories that trickled out the next day, it was all about, yes, she won the debate, but now she has to worry about campaign structure and what does this mean to raising money.
Some people did that, but the cumulative effect of all this Carly, I think really helps her even beyond her performance.
You agree with Rush Limbaugh, who basically said that the news media is trying to pick our candidate and that Carly's a flavor of the week. So you and Rush are on the same page.
I'm not picking any candidate. All right. Carly did a round of morning show interviews on cable, and she got asked this question: why didn't you smile during the debate?
Wasn't that absolutely absurd? You know, part of the media gushing over Carly Fiorina had a downside, which is she's held to a ridiculous double standard.
You're saying a male candidate doesn't get that question.
Did anybody ask Scott Walker or Marco Rubio why they didn't smile more? Ben Carson didn't smile very much. No one asked them about that. Nobody talked about their wardrobe.
Scott Walker, by the way, said in an interview that the media narrative was all decided in advance, that everyone would say Carly had a big night no matter what happened. I don't know how we all sort of circulated the memo.
A little sour grapes.
A little bit, okay. But now the flip side of all the positive press for Carly Fiorina, much of it deserved by a press corps that basically wrote her off at the beginning as a ridiculous long shot, is that Trump was really hurt by this. Trump had a bad night. Trump looked uncomfortable at times. And I wonder whether once again, Joe, the pundits are a little too quick to write off Trump.
I think people have lost all perspective on what's happening here. If 22 million people are watching this debate, I think Donald Trump's right that a vast majority of them are tuning in to see him. And if they're tuning in to see him, you're not going to, if 18 million of them are tuning in to see him, you're not going to move the numbers as much as pundits who sit back and are sure Carly won this thing. And I think she did.
Yeah.
But it's not going to show up as big in the polls as we're making it to be.
And I do think that the media has changed the narrative a little bit, where it's gone from Trump mania to Carly mania.
Right.
And it makes,
but Trump
has an
says he
effect.
won the debate because he kept citing this drudge poll.
Well, those drudge polls, that not only was that what you're talking, CNN, Newsmax, several of these news organizations came out there basically saying Trump won the debate because of these drudge polls. These drudge polls are not scientific polls.
Right.
So for him to, and he actually used that in his tweets. He would go out and basically say, I won the debate.
There is a new CNN poll this morning of overall preference among Republicans. Trump 24%, Carly rocketing to 15%, second place in that poll. Finally, Ben Carson on Meet the Press this morning said that he would not advocate that a Muslim become president of the United States. Is this going to blow up in the next 24 hours, as the media say? That is something that that no candidate should say, because he's talking about a whole group of people.
I think it's going to blow up. But I think, again, in the perspective of a Republican primary, in which my guess is there's a huge piece of the Republican voter pool that believes exactly what Carson just said. That's
I'm really
what's
not
going
sure if
on
that's
here.
the case.
Well, that's what we're going to see.
Interesting to see a poll like that. It's different than them saying that 43% of Republicans.
Yeah, and keep in mind, all of Donald Trump's controversial statements blew up, and it worked for him. So it is possible that Ben Carson wanted some attention on his campaign.
This is what I mean about the liberal bias. I would be appalled by that statement.
Right. But you're not a Republican primary voter.
But I'm not a Republican primary
I don't think you're in
voter.
danger of becoming one. Let me get a break.